Good afternoon. My name is Nissan Caspi, and I'm a developer, and we are the developers of the LARISSA project in Larissa, a power station. And I'm taking you to the grounds where a project is a project. So just that power station that you see in the picture, it's a power station, it's not a shopping mall. We constructed that power station in Israel. It's 470 megawatt units. We have winning a very nice prize for the design of that power plant, and we are planning to do the same in Greece, hopefully in the next 2 years. The game is changing. On power station, it's not anymore a power station, it's a hub of energy. And this is how we see that concept. It's not only producing of electricity, because we are facing a problem of carbonization, or we are phasing out carbon. And we need to do it as fast as possible as climate change is coming. And if you see the CO2 pricing, 2020, the price was about 20 euro per ton. Today, it's 5 times the trading cost of a ton, and any producer should avoid it. If we look on the solution for that, as been mentioned before, the natural gas is a transient one. So if it is a transient for what? So it's transient for hydrogen. This is where the market goes, and as we understood by even the last or one previous one, it is even TAP is looking to ship to Europe hydrogen via the gas lines, and the Med gas line is constructed or to be designed as well for hydrogen coming from the Gulf. So we are speaking about hydrogen as a future fuel. And this is how the European community looking into that, and this is already decision been taken a year ago, and lately on February this 2023, and this is the European hydrogen backbone. And with that plan of the hydrogen in Europe, this is how the system will look while converting major part of the natural gas into hydrogen or mixed. And we should be prepared for that. Because, major question, now we hear a lot of talks about mixed fuel on the gas lines. Now power station going to be fed with mixed fuel. If it's more than 5% of hydrogen, what then? Power station will stop working, should be prepared, should be designed, should be ready for that. And as we say, it's a hub of energy, it's not only a power station. Now take a look. Spain going to be connected to Africa with pipelines coming with hydrogen. Italy going to be connected to Tunisia with hydrogen. Greece is part of that. If you take a look on the right, I just zoom it in, and here is the lines. And DESFA CEO was just ensuring that been already approved by the EU that a special line even going to be for the hydrogen, and the next year they are going to start with 5% mix on the lines. So we should be prepared to hydrogen. How the technology providers are looking into such project? This is a Siemens slide. It's not our slide. I took it by permission. So Siemens look, or if you take the other vendors as well, we designed the first project here in Greece mainly on the H-class Siemens unit, And it comes by an integration of different technology come to a full solution as a hub of energy. It's not anymore a power station, solely a power station. It is a power station to provide with electricity, and as, again, CEO of DESFA said before, or we put moleculars, or we put electricity, and we can put both. We need to have a hub. We need to have a project that will be the most advanced one to be integrating different technologies into one solution that will be, or what's called at the past, as a power station. According to the EU legislation, since 2021 and lately February 2023, it was already declared that a natural gas-based power station will be considered as a renewable power, RES. This is not a greenwash. Because if it is purely natural gas, I can tell you that it cannot meet that criteria. If you take any power station that works today on the best technology, available technology at the market, it will be 313 grams per kilowatt. Cannot be done. It's not a greenwash. So to go there, it must be with two solutions. First solution is to mix it with hydrogen, and if we mix 30% in volume by hydrogen, we can meet 250 grams per kilowatt produced, and by this way, power station will be considered as a renewable one. And this should be very well emphasized because we must have those power stations as well as we have RES. RES, with all due respect, and I really respect the RES because we are developers of RES as well. We do PVs and we do biomass, but there is a certain rule at the market that any RES should have just next to it thermoelectric unit, which is about factor of 0.6. We cannot avoid for the next 20 years the thermal units. We must have the thermal units. Of course, we should avoid the coal, and this is what is phasing out today, but this cannot be only by RES. RES cannot supply 100% because still there is no any sun at night, and not always the wind is blowing. So we need to have those baseload units to serve the market in any case. So hydrogen mixed fuel could put the power station as well as a RES. So it is a solution coming with a power station together with a natural gas, and the second solution could be as well with CO2 capturing. The CO2 capturing or certain technologies like the technology of Fischer-Tropsch today provide a new adoption of that technology that by this way the CO2 capturing could be in a very small scale, not need to be on the Shell capacity in Qatar for 20 billion investment. It could be even for 30 to 40 million investment, localized, and that technology was already on the way. So, to solve the CO2 emissions of any power station, to be recognized or to be considered as renewable one, we can do it both ways. We can do it by, first, mix hydrogen, and second, we can do it also by CO2 absorption. What we are planning for LARISSA. So this is why we looked into LARISSA project not only as a power plant, pure power plant, but as a hub. As a hub for energy, because in that case what we do, we're going to install 870 megawatt power station, already designed for 100% of hydrogen, which is highly important because, let me tell you, maybe it's not a secret, but to change a power station from natural gas into hydrogen to be 100% hydrogen, it's not only replacing the combustion chambers, it's changing also the halls, the building itself. It's like, it's not replacing the sofa at our salon at home, it's much, much, much more deeper, and this is a major change. More than that, what we do with the piping. Piping, corrosive one. So it should be designed from the very beginning to serve that solution, and this is what we do. We designed the power station to be 100% on the hydrogen level. And next to it, we are going to install 2 units. One, green hydrogen production unit, which we're going to be by electrolysis with about 800 megawatts of different fields, farm units next to the power station, while we have a capacity of a grid that about 2,000 megawatts. It means that we have a spare ones to, in one hand, let the solar units provide at the certain moment or the wind into the grid, or if we can use it, we can still use it for hydrogen. It means that we can do it even if it's winds, we can do it off-peak. If it's solar, we can do it sunlight. So that unit could be very, very effective. It means that we can manage the different inputs and outputs during the day, and if we look on the position of that power station, it's just on the heart of the grid of Greece, just at the middle, while today most of the production is or the very north or south, and we are balancing the system, we are balancing the grid. So we are coming into, again, a hub, and that next to it, we are with the grid, a gas connection, which we are in a proximity to that one by 300 meters. It means that it's very easy for us, if we have any surplus of hydrogen, to manage it by feeding the grid of gas. So we have all the alternatives. Remember the moleculars and the electricity, so we can manage it very, very flexible. So how we do it? How we do it, we are coming from Israel, and we are coming with a lot of innovation. This is what we know, and this is what we do. And as our group in Israel, been elected by the Israeli government to lead the accelerator of Israel for innovation for climate change and energy. We have developed 2 major technologies that support that project here in Greece. The first one is, sorry, but it's not so bright, it's the GTLF. This one, gas to liquid fuels. We have our proprietary asset that we have the technology being also approved by the DOE at the United States as a CO2 absorption system. And by this way, we can reduce and install those units and do the CO2 emission reduction. We have as well developed the HYDROX, which is a hydrogen storage unit, which is already proven technology. We've been, last October, winning the first prize in Germany for international competition on hydrogen technologies for production and storage. So it's not a dream that we are coming into a hub, that hub will be as a hub of energy based on a power station, that power station, which about 870 megawatts unit to be installed, H-class, can always run on natural gas, highly sustainable, highly reducing of any problems of supply, and at the same time, we can manage it as a hub for reduction of CO2 emissions and be considering that project as renewable. Most important, a lot of times, and this should be introduced into that market as well, the power station or the thermoelectric power station must be kept at the system for the long run as RES is volatile, and it was mentioned here more than once. The volatility of that provides the market with a lot of demand to inertia because the renewables cannot provide inertia. Inertia could be provided only by those units. And the integration of those units as a renewable in one hand and solving the problem of inertia will be, in our view, the full solution to provide with a very advanced, innovative system as a hub of energy. And I just have another 3 seconds, and I thank you very, very much.